Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top five things that new players make mistakes. The top 5 mistakes that new players make. Now, these are just 5 that I have thought of. Of course, there are probably going to be a lot more mistakes that people make that I haven't sort of thought of, but these are just 5 of the mistakes, and more likely they're probably going to make 10-15 mistakes as new players. But today we're just going to be talking about 5 of them, and hopefully if there is new players watching this video, it may be able to help them. It may be able to give them some tips and just guidance, really. So number 1, and this is probably the number 1 biggest mistake that new players do, that if they just stop doing this, it would probably make them better players. So it is grinding up a line too quickly. Now, obviously, Wargaming have made it easy for people to grind the line. They removed a lot of tanks back in update 5.5 or whatever it was. They removed a load of tanks, and ultimately this led to worse players being in tier 10. Sometimes it's unbearable. Like, honestly, sometimes it really is unbearable to play the game, and it doesn't help where, I mean, I've seen it on my free-to-play account. Like, I've 1,000 battles and I've already got 3 or 4 tier 10s. Like, that is just crazy numbers, and you shouldn't be able to get so many tier 10s in that short amount of battles. So grinding up the line is definitely a bad thing. It's definitely a bad thing when they can do it too quickly. Now, I know I'm saying this now because this is the top, for me, the worst thing to happen. But one of these, what I've got in the top 5, actually contradicts what I've just said. And basically what that is, so number 2 is they don't use fun modes enough. Now, fun modes are there for a number of different reasons. Now, a lot of it, like I said, you can use fun modes to grind a line. And what I mean by that is a lot of new players will grind a line, they'll play a tank stock, and then they will get to tier 10 very, very quickly. Or they'll have shit battles, absolutely shit battles, because they're playing everything stock until they can unlock the next gun. So where I say they don't use fun modes, now fun modes, like I said, can be used for a number of different reasons. One of them is to grind your stock tank. You know, at least you don't have to play it in public games as a stock tank. You can go in fun mode, play the mode, have fun as well. Like, fun mode ain't just there to grind lines, it is there to have fun as well. Some people may not like the mode, some people may. I particularly don't really enjoy too much playing the fun modes, but that's just because I don't have time anymore. However, I do play fun modes when I need to grind a line and I don't have enough free XP. So grinding a fun mode is good for all aspects, really. So the next one, again, we're still going to be talking about grinding, and that is grinding the wrong line. Now, again, what I mean by that, so you're a new player, brand new player, you look at the tanks and you decide to play a German line. You play a German line, fair enough, all the same sort of tier 1s, tier 2s, and then you start moving up, and then you start to choose certain tanks that at the end of it leads to something like a Leopard 1, for example. So for a new player, a Leopard 1 is probably not the right choice. Likewise, some people may not play the game. My bad there. So some people may never have played the game before. They may have gone to Bovington Tank Museum, for an example, seen a particular tank there, with, you know, something like the FV4005. They've seen it at Bovington, they've seen it in the game, and they're like, you know what, I want to play that tank, I'm going to grind that tank. Completely the wrong thing to do. Grind a line, you know, and when I say grind a line, grind a heavy tank to start off with, or a heavy medium. You know, when you grind a line, and people make this mistake so often, what I used to do when I first started, I actually grinded properly. So what I mean by that is I probably had about 15 tier 5 tanks, 15 tier 6 tanks before I had one tier 10. Like, I wasn't just sticking to one line and sticking with it. I was actually swapping, you know, get to tier 6, start another line. Get to tier 6, start another line. I felt that I wasn't ready for tier 10. So I never played tier 10, never played tier 9. I literally grinded as much as I can until I knew I was ready to start going even up to tier 8. So yeah, grinding the wrong line. If you feel that a tank's not for you or you're not performing, don't feel afraid to leave that line and start again. There's nothing wrong with that. If you get to tier 6 or 7 and not enjoying it or not performing well in a medium, start a new line with maybe a heavy tank and start again. As simple as that. The next thing, what the newer players don't do often enough is to use training rooms. Now, training rooms are there not just to have fun with your friends or play mini games or whatever. Training rooms can be there if you make friends to get the feel of a tank. The only thing I wish they had was bots. I wish they had bots in training rooms so you can actually come against them and start learning your tank, because you can come up against the tank that you're driving so you can see armor profile wise, you know, where weak points are, etc, etc. So I wish they did have bots in training room. Honestly, if people used it, I think it would make a lot better players. So that is a number 4. Now, the last thing on this list, which we're going to look at, I'm going to show you, which I think people, not just newer players really, but people in general need to start using more. And one of them is other sites. I mean, using other sites for their advantage. Now, I'm talking about 2 in particular sites. This one here is the Blitz kit. Now, this is actually a very, very good site. I only ever use this site for one thing, and that is the Tankopedia. So basically what you can do is pick a tank in the game. So I want a tier 10, I want a heavy tank, and I want a, let's go American tank. So then you get a list of American tanks, and I want to pick, say, the Concept 1B. So let's pick the Concept 1B, and then once you've chosen the Concept 1B, you can then have a look at its armor profile, and you can also pick what tank is coming up against the Concept 1B. So normally it is automatically pick the same tank, but I want to see what a tier 9 sees. Like, so let's go tier 9, a tier 9 heavy, something like the Motion. Let's just randomly pick this. So I want to see what the Motion sees. I want to see what my armor profile is like, where the weak points are, and then it gives you a feel of how to play the tank. Like this, the Concept 1B, you can clearly see the hull is grey. It is weak as hell. Otherwise, other than that, the turret is actually very strong. And you can also click on it, so it'll give you the armor there. So it'll say blocked, because that's basically you're not penning that. Then if you click at the side of the armor, you will actually see, I mean, I can't go down, just how good. I mean, look at that, 90, I mean, I'm on a weak point there. 264 millimeters is you're going to get. And again, you can angle your tank. Okay, the upper plate's going to be really strong if I angle it like that. So yeah, again, if you can this tank side scrape, yeah, it doesn't look too good side scraping because of the turret, but it just gets you a feel of the tank that you're going to be playing. Along with training rooms, you mix this site with training rooms, then you're going to be a better player. And another site that I always use is this site right here. Now, I have been using this site for many, many years. Now, the owner of this, the creator, Sock Rubber, we used to be in Phoenix together. Very good lad, and a very, very good website for many different reasons. One of them, you have a Hall of Fame. So if you have a really high damage game, you can upload it to this site. This is where I get all of my replays from, literally every single replay. It's got the date that it's submitted. Obviously, if it's the previous update, you can't view it. But like this one, the Hori, which is what you've just watched, is where I got this site. So October the 17th, okay, only a few days ago. You can then view it, download it, and then you can watch the replay. So I use this Hall of Fame for all of my replays. All the big games that you see is coming from this site right here. The Death Star there, you can see 9,000, which you watched the other day on the channel. So yeah, Hall of Fame is great, but not only that, it's not just about Hall of Fame, but you can tank compare. So if we just go to tank compare, you can compare tanks. So I want to compare what the 121B is like compared to the 121. So you can look, okay, it has better DPM, it has the same pen, has worse alpha, so you can compare them. And again, you can also scroll down this and it will also show you how many players are playing it, the win rate, the highest damage. It shows you everything that you need. It shows you the armor profile or how much. It doesn't show you like blitz kit, the actual armor profile, but they are very, very good websites to use, and I suggest using them because it will help you. So those are my top 5, the top 5 mistakes new players make in World of Tanks Blitz. Let me know any more. Is there any more that you think new players make? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69 and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.